I was staring at something ordinary when this thought came in. How strange it is that we always need a shape to stay with something that has no shape. Even silence feels easier when a room holds it. Even emptiness feels safer when there's a boundary around it. I don't know why that is. Maybe the mind just needs somewhere to rest. Or maybe awareness itself enjoys appearing as form for a moment before slipping away again. There's a reason certain symbols refuse to disappear across time. Not because they are explained well, but because they are felt before they are understood. The Linga feels like that to me. Before meaning, before story, before belief. Almost like a pause in thought. A vertical stillness. Something standing, not doing anything, not pointing anywhere specific, yet somehow holding everything. I might be wrong, but it doesn't feel like an object meant to be. It feels more like a reminder the mind keeps circling without landing. If you watch your own attention closely, you'll notice it does the strange thing. It moves. It rises. It collapses. It dissolves. It comes back again. There's a pulse to it. A quiet rhythm of appearing and disappearing. Thoughts rise, sensations rise. Even the sense of me rises. And then fades when you're not looking. Nothing stays fixed. Yet something continues. And somewhere in that movement, the idea of the Lingas starts to feel less symbolic and more intimate. The Liṅga Purāṇa doesn't seem interested in decoration or mythology in the way we usually expect. It feels more like it's pointing to a principle, not a god form, but a condition of reality. A condition where form emerges from the formless, rests briefly, and then returns. Not as destruction, but as completion. Almost like breathing. Inhale shape, exhale dissolution, and the pause between them, that quiet center. That's where the symbol seems to sit. I notice how uncomfortable the mind becomes around this symbol. It wants to label it, reduce it, either elevate it too quickly or dismiss it entirely. But the discomfort itself feels instructive, because the Linga doesn't give the mind anything to hold on to. No face, no narrative arc, no emotional drama, whose presence upright. Still, watching everything move around it, maybe that's why it unsettles us. It mirrors the part of awareness that docente participate yet allows everything. There's something physiological about this too, when the body becomes still, when breath slows without effort, when attention drops beneath thought, there's a sensation of verticality. Not imagined, felt, like awareness is no longer spread horizontally across objects, but gathered inward, aligned. Spine, breath, pulse, even time feels different there. Less linear, less urgent. Less urgent. And suddenly, the Liṅga stops being an external symbol and starts feeling like a lived posture of consciousness. The Purāṇa seems to whisper that creation isn't a one-time event, it's happening constantly. Form is always being born out of stillness, and just as constantly, returning. What we call dissolution isn't collapse, it's rest, a reset, a reabsorption into something quieter. Shiva here doesn't feel like destruction. He feels like gravity, the pull back to center, the permission for things to end without guilt. I find it interesting how afraid we are of endings. Even sleep scares us a little. Even silence feels suspicious. Yet the Liṅga doesn't resist endings. It stands inside them. It doesn't move away from collapse. It doesn't celebrate creation either. It simply remains while both happen. That neutrality, that refusal to take sides, feels like a deeper intelligence than choice. And maybe that's the most unsettling insight, that preservation, creation, and dissolution aren't separate acts performed by different forces. They're phases of the same motion, the same awareness, cycling through expression and withdrawal. The Liṅga doesn't represent power in action. It represents power at rest, potential unspent. Time paused inside itself. If I'm honest, sitting with this changes how I see history, memory, even identity. How many versions of me have already dissolved without drama? Childhood selves, old fears, old ambitions. They ended, quietly, and something remained to witness the ending. That witness never aged, never changed names, never needed continuity. It just stayed. And that makes me wonder whether the Linga is less about Shiva and more about that witness. The axis around which experience rotates. The silent constant while worlds come and go. Not dramatic, not loud, not demanding devotion, just present enough that everything else can happen. As I sit with this, another question begins to form. If creation and dissolution are rhythm, if they rise and fall like breath, then maybe this rhythm isn't limited to moments or lifetimes. Maybe it stretches wider, into ages, into epics, into entire civilizations. Maybe the same intelligence that dissolves a thought also dissolves a world, not out of anger, but necessity. And somewhere beyond this still symbol, beyond this quiet vertical presence, the rhythm seems to widen. Time itself starts breathing. Long expansions, long contractions, cycles so vast they make personal identity feel momentary, almost incidental. I can feel that pull now, away from the still center, outward, into motion again, into time measured not in seconds, but in ages, as if awareness, after resting as the Linga, begins to turn once more, preparing to move through something larger, not an ending, just a turning.